I've got a problem with my Shuttle Pro V.2. This thing is about 15 years old, but it has been rock solid. But here recently, the jog has quit working. So let me just show you what I'm talking about here. You can see all the buttons are working. I'm clicking each one and it's responding on the screen. And even the shuttle works great. It's just the very center knob that's the jog that doesn't seem to work. And what that does is that lets you advance or go backwards one frame at a time. And that's what separates this controller from some of the other ones. Some of the other ones only have a shuttle or a jog control. This has both. And I really rely on that jog control. So I'm going to start going ahead and taking this apart and see if we can get it fixed. I'm using the pry bar tool that came with my xCool screwdriver set. You'll see that screwdriver in action in just a minute, but this was just an extra included tool and it works perfect for popping these little rubber feet off the bottom. Now you don't really need to remove these two bottom rubber feet. There's actually no screws under those. I'm kind of realizing that now as I'm popping them off, but I went ahead and removed them anyway. All right, so now we've got the rubber feet off. I'm going to go ahead and open up my xCool electric precision screwdriver set. I've got a review on another channel showing that screwdriver and how well I like it. Just going to find the bit that fits perfectly into those screw heads. Then I'll put it in the screwdriver and start taking them out. The screws loosen up easy enough, but they just don't want to come out, even with the magnetic bit. And I'm going to put it in the magnetic, I don't even know, magnetizer on the screwdriver there and try to get it remagnetized, but even then they don't want to come out. Amazingly, once I get them all loosened up and flip it upside down, they all just fall out. It makes no sense. Okay, I've got all the screws removed. And now I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be just as simple as just opening the case up. But of course, nothing ever goes as simple as what I expect it to. So I'm realizing very quickly the case is not going to open up. I'm going to have to go remove the shuttle jog spinner before I will be able to open the case. Luckily, a little tool that came with the xCool screwdriver, the pry bar, just works perfectly to pop that off. And now I'm just going to look at this in a little bit more depth and make sure I understand, since I just took it off before I take anything apart, make sure I really understand how they go back on, look for pins or whatever I need to line this up so I can get them back perfectly in shape again once I'm done. And now I'm going to open the case up and just kind of look around to see if I can see anything wrong. Do I see any blown components? Anything that's out of whack that might be causing the problem. Here I'm looking around, not seeing anything. I do notice quite a bit of dust on the board itself, especially around I guess that'd be a potentiometers that run those two spinners there. But I wonder why there's so much dust. Oh, maybe that's the reason. So I take it out in the garage, grab the air compressor. I can't find a can of compressed air, even though I know I've got one. I'm going to get this really cleaned up a bit, and then we'll take it back in, check it out. While I've got it apart, though, I'm going to go ahead and validate that all the wires look good. Again, this piece of equipment's about 15 years old, so it's seen quite a bit of use. Make sure the wires and the connector all seem to look good, and they look perfect. So I'm going to start putting this back together. First, start by routing the cable through the little holder in the plastic case there. Now, I'm putting the case on. I'm missing one critical piece here that we'll talk about in just a minute. You'll see it. Those buttons keep wanting to fall out no matter what I do, so I'm going to lay them down on the board and then just put the case on top of it. There's nothing wrong with those buttons. They just aren't secured like the other ones are. So I'm trying to kind of fit this together, trying to force it into place. Then I kind of realized, wait a minute, the bottom has to go in first, and there's a little piece there that holds it together, that it needs to go in there first. Then it'll kind of snap in at the top. So we'll get that finished up here. Then I noticed one of my little plastic clear covers came off. And if you're not familiar with this product, it actually comes with little labels that you can put under the clear plastic to identify what you're setting up each button for. I no longer have those buttons. So anyway, I've thought about printing some, but I've never gotten around to doing it. And now it's just a matter of getting the screws put back in, again, using the xCool screwdriver. I'll put a link in the description to the xCool screwdriver, and I've actually got a code that I'll give you that'll get you a certain % off. If you're interested, you can order from Amazon or from the Cool Gadgets site. And if you're not familiar with this controller, it works very good when you're editing video. That's about the only thing I use it for. I used to use it with Adobe Premiere Pro, but I switched to DaVinci Resolve a while back, and I've been using with it. And it works with pretty much any program. If they don't have defaults set up, you can go ahead and create your own to work with the program you want to use. Oh, and we got a visitor. Kitty decided she wanted to get her 15 minutes of YouTube fame. We'll move her, and I'm sure she'll come back again in a minute. Again, luckily I kind of looked through all these pieces to make sure I knew exactly how they went together. Everything seems to push back on and kind of click into place, and it feels really good. Now I'm just going to take these rubber feet and stick them back on. There's the kitty again. I guess let me stop and pet her for a minute, rub her belly. Maybe she'll decide to stay down this time so I can finish the video. Just finish getting these rubber feet on, and then we'll be ready to connect it up to the laptop and test it out. I'm really looking forward to having this functional again. And I'm just going to check it out here and make sure it still feels good. All the buttons feel good. The spinner feels good. Everything feels like it needs to, like nothing's out of alignment. Hook up adapter so I can hook it up into the USB-C port of the MacBook. Yes, I want the accessory to connect. And at first, I'm going to click a button here and not realizing I have to be kind of on the program. Go ahead and highlight the program and make it active. There we go. And now as I start clicking through buttons, you're going to see everything is lighting up as expected. All of the buttons work. I've been through every one of them. I'm going to try the shuttle. That works great. And there we go. The jog works now. Give myself a thumbs up. It's working great. I'm not sure if I really had to take the case off. I may have just been able to remove the spinners and blow air down in there from that to get the dust out. But either way, it's working now, and I'm really excited. Thank you guys for watching.